Hello, my name is Erica, and I'm the Dyslexic Trekkie. In the last Star Trek Revised, the crew learned that Urena has trained her whole life in an ancient Lygon martial arts. Luten set up a situation where Urena can't help but fight Tasha in one-on-one combat. The crew has seen firsthand Urena's skill with the weapons Tasha has only just seen. The crew is determined to find some way to get out of the situation with their diplomacy intact, but things don't look good. Picard confirmed that Luten isn't doing any of this for love, at least not the love of a woman. Instead, he wants power his society has divided between the sexes all to himself. I'd like to reiterate, because it's been a while since I've worked on this, that I'm showing the possible direction the show could have taken if they had chosen a less racist tone. The Lygon I'm talking about is a planet of scientific research. It's space-worthy, though prefers to stay close to home, where they can study the materials brought to them for research. Holdings and properties have more to do with ownership of labs and patents than with farms and cattle or whatever else they deem viable in the show. They never really say. Luten isn't the planet's leader, he's a representative, looking to move up in status. We left Picard, Yar, Troi, Data, and LaForge at a window watching Urena train before battle. When the show returns from break, we see the elusive Will Riker making his ship's log and making it clear he doesn't understand Picard's plans. He asks a young Wesley Crusher to help out by sitting at ops. I guess when the captain's away, the children will play. I don't really think there's anything to change with the interactions on the ship. I think it makes sense for people to not be paying attention to Data coming and going. Yes, the Lygons in my story have the scientific knowledge to anticipate what they might do, but remember, these are rarely performed rituals. The implications for what could be done might just not come up enough to matter. There's one real combat question that I think needs addressed. In explaining the rules, Hagon says the battle must continue until one of the two women has died. I saw in Nitpicker's Guide to Star Trek, TNG version, an interesting point. Before the fight, Hagon says there will be no interruptions. Then they stop the fight to get the weapon away from some guy who accidentally got nicked by it. That would be an interruption. But I think he could say the fight is to the death, and that's it. Then when someone gets hurt, they don't seem like they aren't following the rules. I don't really know what I can say about the fight. They fight. It's visually not bad, and then some poor guy gets hurt by the murder mittens. At least they get their dramatic evidence that the weapons are lethal. I'm cool with it when you take out the whole will not be interrupted bit. Hagon calls out in concern for Urena. It will matter. Then Tasha finally gets Urena in the back with the murder mitten and jumps on her for the transport. Yes, I feel like I'm doing a blow-by-blow for this last part. But that's because the rest of this has more to do with the relationship between the two guest stars than with their culture. One part is how Luten seems to think that in Yar winning, he gets to take claim of Yar, as if she were property. It's a simple change in nuance. What of Yar? I promised her to be my first one if she won. He still thinks he's a smooth talker who won her heart. She's been on the planet placating him to prevent an interplanetary incident. I really wouldn't put it past him to not get that the interest is gone. Again, the vaccine wasn't at stake here. When Riker calls down in my version, he's asking if the diplomacy with the planet is appeased, and will they be able to leave soon, to drop off the vaccine. Luten says yes. The rest continues. 5 go up to the ship instead of 3, because Picard has his point to make. With relations restored on Lygon, he has a few things to say to Luten. Everything in Luten's reaction to finding his late wife is not so late is the same. I'd even keep his declaration of no vaccine. I mean, this guy would think he actually could take it back. Urena makes it clear that their marriage is over. She did die, and that did end the marriage. And she takes a man who actually took concern for her. Good for Hagon. He did kind of follow Luten around a lot, but in the end, he knew what mattered to him. I want to change Yar's reaction to Luten saying he has his honor. She says, it's such a waste. I think, I don't see how, might be better. Really, what honor did he maintain? Even in the original story, he conned, manipulated, and betrayed people. Maybe he did it in ways that would be acceptable to his planet, but by the reaction of those around him, I'd say not so much. If anyone has a code of honor, it's Urena. She takes him as a second. he will have someplace to go. It's more than he deserves, but maybe Irina knows no one else will have him. Hagon's little line will be, "Thank you for your help. I will use my new position to shore up the treaty with my people." The little jab at civilized behavior is just silly. I think Hagon would be appreciative of everything. Irina being alive, Lutan getting something for hurting her, and yes, he got the girl. And then, of course, there's the little drama of Wesley and the helm. I like how Picard walked right by him and didn't notice. Credit to Picard for giving him the chance he deserves, but that's for another video. I set out with the intention of fixing this episode. I always thought the story didn't need to be what it was. When I was explaining what I was doing here to people, I said I was trying to take the racism out of the story. Did I succeed? I don't know. I'd say that's for someone else to judge. We don't get to declare that kind of success for ourselves. We can just hope that those this kind of issue affects will appreciate the attempt. I know I say this a lot, but Star Trek is meant for everyone. It's supposed to be for anyone, any race, any religion, any identity. Having this be the third episode of the series is disappointing. At the very least, I hope I've shown the potential the story had, what it could have been, and how much more sense it could have made without the racism. This video finishes my first real big project. I'd love to hear your thoughts or ideas below. I'd especially like to hear further ideas on stories I could do next. They don't have to be practically line-by-line rewrites of the episode. They can just be plot points in a story you'd like to look at. Thank you for watching. If you like this subject, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any thoughts, feelings, or ideas on this subject, please share in the comments below. Again, my name is Erica, and I'm the Dyslexic Trekkie. And Ray says hello at the very beginning because he's the boss. He also wants a treat. Ensign Bradbury, what do you have to say for yourself? Very good excuse. I agree with that. Oh. In the last? Yeah, let's get it all out at the beginning. Holdies? Let's try this one more time. Ah, yes. My ensign is obsessed with the num-nums. Speak. Good boy. He's starting to get the idea. He just doesn't understand he only speaks when told to. I hope that actually says Wesley, not Weasley. There's one real combat question that I think needs addressed. Oh, I do think it needs addressed. It's important. Yet, I feel like I'm doing a blow? Preventing an international incident. Interplanetary. Well, it's the right word. Give me a break. What's my little drama boy doing? That's a good answer. We can just hope that I was doing well. Come on. At least the cricket's quiet this time. Maybe he finally met his maker.
Yes, I got out and I ate him. He was num-num.